The discovery of the Indus Valley civilization. So, how this civilization was discovered and who were the people behind this discovery. So, in 1921, R.B. Deharam Shahani, he was an Indian archaeologist. Archaeologists are people who get engaged in some kind of archaeological surveys or archaeological research. So, R.B. Deharam Shahani, he was an Indian archaeologist, found a number of seals from the village Harappa. We will study what were these seals later on in this chapter. Pictures are also there to demonstrate. So he found, while excavating, means while he was digging the earth, he found many seals from this village Harappa, which is now in Pakistan. Next year, it was in 1921. The next year, 1922, a huge city was excavated. Again, this particular term excavated is used again and again. It means digging deep into the earth. So while excavation work was going on, this huge city hidden under the sands and bricks of Harappa was discovered. The same year, R.T. Banerjee made similar excavations in Mohenjo-daro in Sindh. So this was the excavation work taken down in Harappa in 1922. In that same year, another archaeologist, R.T. Banerjee, he made a similar excavation of the city Mohenjo-daro in Sindh. Thus, Archaeological Survey of India. What is this Archaeological Survey of India? We will study in this fact file now. But first of all, let me say you that this Archaeological Survey of India unearthed or discovered one of the greatest ancient civilization of the world, that is the Indus Valley civilization or the Harappan culture. So because of the excavation work carried out by these archaeologists, they were the people who discovered one of the greatest ancient civilization of the world today that we know as Harappan civilization or Indus Valley civilization. So now we will study what is this Archaeological Survey of India. This is actually an organization, the Archaeological Survey of India. It is actually an organization under the Ministry of Culture. It's a premier organization for the archaeological researches. Any kind of archaeological researches in India is carried out. Archaeological means any kind of historical research, anything related to history. So these are the archaeological researches, and these researches are carried down by Archaeological Survey of India. And not only the archaeological researches, Archaeological Survey of India also protects the cultural heritage of the nation. Any kind of cultural heritage, it may be the ancient monuments that we see today like Taj Mahal, and for this all are protected by Archaeological Survey of India. And this Archaeological Survey of India was founded in 1869 by Alexander Cunningham, who also became the first Director General. Alexander Cunningham was the first Director General of Archaeological Survey of India. Now let us go through the sources of Harappan culture, how we get the knowledge about Harappan culture. The main sources of the Harappan culture are the archaeological evidences. We don't have any written proof or written record of this Harappan culture. So whatever information we get about this Harappan culture, it is solely dependent on these archaeological evidences or archaeological proofs. And what are these archaeological proofs? They are actually the ruins of the ancient cities. Whatever broken parts of the ancient cities has been excavated, the buildings that has been excavated, pottery, seals, toys, weights and measures, ornaments, tools and weapons. So these are all the things that has been excavated from under the earth, and these are the archaeological evidences that give us a lot of information about Harappan culture. Then sites of Indus Valley civilization. We have already studied these were the sites of Indus Valley civilization. Now we will study them in details. Which are the places where Harappan civilization existed? So some of the major cities are as follows. Here are these cities. Lothal, Gujarat, that is Gulf of Cambay, near Gulf of Cambay, also known as Gulf of Khambat. Then Kalibangan, Rajasthan, Ganganagar, Ropar in Punjab, Alamgir, Uttar Pradesh, Banwali, Hisar district in Haryana, Kochi, Pakistan. So these are the some important cities where ruins of Indus Valley civilization have been found. These are the new words you have to go through, children. First is archaeologists. Archaeologists are the scientists who study the remains of past civilizations. Any kind of past civilizations, the people who does research on this kind of past civilizations, they do research by excavating the earth, or groups of people, these people who do study on this kind of past remains, they are called archaeologists. Then excavated, every time we have come across this word, excavated, it is to uncover by digging away and removing the earth that covers it. As I told you, the earth is dug and then the hidden things are drawn out from the earth, that is called excavated. So these are the new words you have to go through. Now we will see the chief features of the Harappan culture. First is town planning. What kind of town planning they were using? The Indus Valley civilization's town planning was highly advanced at that particular stage. So first we will study the Indus Valley people had an excellent skill in town planning. The streets and lanes of their towns were laid out according to a set plan. A perfect plan was made to lay out the construction of the streets and lanes. It was not like that anywhere they can construct the streets. It was not like that. They had a complete plan. These were straight and cut each other at right angles. So these streets and lanes were actually they were straight. They were in this kind of structure, that is they were straight and they cut each other at right angle. You can see this is a right angle. So this is called a grid pattern. The streets and lanes of Indus Valley civilization, they followed a grid pattern. This is the grid pattern. The roads were wide enough. The streets were paved with fire-burnt bricks. Paved means the streets were made with fire-burnt bricks. There were covered drains running under them. The Indus Valley civilization, they had drains running under the streets, and all the house drains emptied their waste materials into these drains that were running under the streets. Then there were lampposts at regular distances. Lampposts are the lights, the street lights. They were fixed at regular distances. At a particular distance, like each lamppost or each street light should be 5 kilometers apart from each other or 2 kilometers apart from each other. So that was the regular distance at which these lampposts were fixed. So this was their town planning system. Now we will study regarding their drainage system. Mohenjo-daro, Lothal and other cities are known to have good drainage system. They had a very good drainage system. The house drains, they emptied their drains into the main drains that ran under the main street. Then inspection holes were also provided at regular distances. Inspection manholes are those circular holes that we see on the roads. They are actually the way through which a person can go inside those drains that are running under the street. So this kind of inspection manholes were also provided so that any problem comes into those drains, so people can get inside and clear them. So that kind of inspection manholes were also provided at regular distances. Water supply was also good. All this shows that an efficient civic administration must have existed in these towns. So this kind of administration, this kind of civic sense shows that a very good administration existed during that period. So this was regarding their town planning and drainage system. Now we will see regarding their buildings and houses. So the people of the Indus Valley had built 3 categories of buildings, namely, so these were the 3 categories of buildings the Indus Valley people were building. They were the large buildings, the public bath, the people's dwelling houses. Dwelling means the living houses, the residential houses where people used to live. So these were the 3 kinds of buildings, 3 categories of buildings you can say that the Indus Valley people built. So we will study them in details. This is another very significant feature of Indus Valley civilization is that they divided the cities into 2 parts. The cities of Mohenjo-daro and Harappa, they divided it into 2 parts. It is a very significant or important feature of Indus Valley civilization. That is, one is the upper part, another is the lower part. The upper part was it was built on some kind of high platform for which the upper part was on a raised ground. It was at a higher level in comparison to the lower city. So this upper part that was built on some kind of raised platform, it was called citadel. The term that was used for this upper town was called citadel. This citadel was a place which comprised of all sorts of these public buildings like the Great Bath, the granaries, the dockyards. We will go on studying it gradually. It is here in this chapter, and it also comprises of houses of the ruling class, the kings, the priests. They used to live in the citadel area, and this lower town was for other people, other common people. So this was the division of the Mohenjo-daro and Harappan cities. So the citadel had large public buildings. As I told you, the citadel comprises of all sorts of public buildings, from granaries. Granaries are the places where grains were stored. Workshops, they were the factories. Assembly hall, where any kind of meeting used to held, and the factories. So these were the public buildings which were located on citadel. We will study them in details. First is the great granaries. As I told you, granaries were the place where grains were stored. So the great granary at Harappa was most important building in the citadel. It ran 46 meters. So this is the structure of the granaries given. It was 46 meters long and 15 meters wide. So length was 46 meters and its width was 15 meters. The granaries were used to store food grains. So as I told you, these were the places where food grains were stored. That was why they were called granaries. So this was one of the important public building in Harappa. Next important, very important building, and the most important one is the great public bath of Mohenjo-daro. A great public bath we can see here. We can see the pictures also over here. So this is the picture of the great granary given here. This was the great granary that we have already studied. Now we will see the picture of the great bath. We can see a rectangular tank-like structure which had 2 flights of steps. So this is the great bath. So this was the very impressive structure that was excavated from under the earth. It was the most of the imposing structure in the city. Most imposing means it was a very beautiful, very impressive structure that was excavated from this city. It consisted of a large quadrangle in the center. This is the large quadrangle that I told you, the rectangular structure. The large quadrangle in the center with a large swimming enclosure, 40 feet in length. Its length was 40 feet. Then 23 feet in width and 8 feet in depth. This was the structure of the great bath. It had galleries and rooms on all sides. Surrounding this rectangular tank, there were galleries and some other kind of rooms which had arrangements for hot water baths. It had a flight of steps at either end, as I have already shown you. In these 2 ends, we can see these 2 flight of steps are there, and was fed by a well in one of the rooms. This rectangular tank got water from a well that was located in one of the rooms. As I told you, it was surrounded by rooms. So in one of the rooms there was a well. From that well, the water was fed to this tank. Yeah, this was the significance of the great bath, that this great bath was not used every time, but it was used only on religious occasions and festivals for doing some kind of religious bathing. So that is why this great bath was used only during religious occasions and festivals.